Hi guys, I am Lydia. This is Johan, and this is Aron. You say Johan in Swedish, so if you want to call him his Swedish name, it's Johan. If you want to speak American, say Johan. Oh, British, I don't know. How do they say British? Okay, we don't know. So one of those two or anything you want. But welcome to the Pocket Edition panel. So we wanted to do something special for those of you who play a lot on your phones or on your iPads or on any of your devices, your Kindle or whatever. So I'm going to let each of them kind of tell you a little tiny bit about themselves, and then they're going to talk about what they've done, what they plan on doing, and then a big part of this will be allowing you to ask some questions. And since there's a good amount of you in here, I'll come down and hold the microphone and you can ask some things. So go ahead, introduce yourself.
I can start. Okay, so my name is Aron, and I'm a game developer, obviously, at Mojang. I started on the Pocket Edition in March. It was actually my first week, March 2011. And I worked on it mostly alone for the first 1.5 years with the help of Jeb, doing the multiplayer part. Right now I'm working like half-time with the Pocket Edition and half-time with Scrolls. And that's where Johan comes in.
Yeah, so I started working on the Pocket Edition this August, I think. And I'm working on it full time now. Yeah, well, 1 month, like June or July or August or something.
So for those that are here, what's kind of the game plan for the Pocket Edition? Or I'll start with that's a super simple question. Just give us your whole plan for the Pocket Edition right now. Or anything, what can they expect? What can they not expect? What have you been working on lately?
Can we first do a quick recap of what's been done for the last year? So we released the first version of the Pocket Edition last MINECON, basically, for every device, or Android and iOS. And that was just a creative environment. So it was like creative mode in normal Minecraft and with kind of few blocks. And then we didn't really plan for it to be the full version of Minecraft. We planned to have basically creative mode and perhaps some unique features for Minecraft Pocket Edition. But we noticed that a lot of our users really wanted to play the more of a similar experience as the desktop version. So we started adding survival mode and then crafting, and obviously we need like different user interface, so they look a bit different, but and then furnaces and now chests, and then this summer we did a big update with what 0.4.0 I was thinking of. But anyway, it goes more and more towards real desktop kind experience. I mean, more and more features are brought in from the desktop version. I think I'm going to be the one that is a bit more answering the technical issues and why we can't add certain features perhaps, and why we have chosen a certain path. But Johan is going to talk about the future of the Pocket Edition.
Yeah, okay, so right now we're like trying a few different things out. One of those is online multiplayer, which means that you can play with anyone around the world. Now, this isn't as easy as it is with the PC edition, where you can use like 4 reports and things like that. We need to do a lot of work and testing before we actually get anywhere, but hopefully we will get some good results from those testings later this year. We're also talking about trying to make the worlds bigger. Currently, the worlds are limited because of the load hardware requirements we have when the game was released, and the phones have just evolved a lot since then. So we're going to look into how big we can actually make the world. If it is even possible to do an infinite world, we're definitely going to look into that. We're also thinking about adding, working a bit more on the visual styles of the game, like adding a sky, for example, and things like that. And also, during the next year, we are probably going to implement redstone as well.
Yeah. I will let you ask your question first, I promise. Okay? So what has because you've been working on it both of you have been working on it for a while, but what has each of you, what has been your favorite thing that you've implemented?
The most fun I've had implementing was the bow, I think, just because it's really fun to use. So that's why I like it.
I think I don't really have a favorite thing, but I really like to see it run basically the same application on all devices. I mean, to build that system, it was really great. Just compile it for Android or compile it for iOS. It's the same. It's just push a button. So that's more technical, but that's my favorite part.
Do you see yourself staying along the lines of the PC version, or are you going to do different things, or how do you plan on dealing with that? Because I know not everything can actually be implemented into the Pocket Edition that's on the PC version.
So there are basically three limitations. First of all, the PC version is several years ahead of us, so it's going to be really difficult for us to keep up with them. Secondly, we're talking about performance, and Aron can answer specific questions to that later on, but and Aron can answer more specific questions on that later on, but we can't do all the same thing that the PC version does at the moment.
I can also add that this game is written in a language that makes it more complex to make games, basically. So the Minecraft guys in the desktop version, they work really, really fast, and we can't actually compete with them when writing for the cell phones. And two reasons that Johan mentioned, that also that the language is more complex. We can't refactor, we can't move stuff around as quick as the desktop version. So we will always be behind, but we don't plan to iterate the same order as the desktop version. We just pick the parts we want, and we can pick stuff they added last week, basically.
And another important part is that the gaming experience on the Pocket Edition is different than the PC version, even if we have the same features. So that's going to factor in. But we're going to get a unique feature as well, so.
Such as? Inquiring minds want to know what kind of features would we get on the Pocket Edition that aren't on any of the other ones?
So some people have probably noticed the camera, which is in the code, but only implemented halfway. And I think that we're actually going to fix that during the next year, so that it will be easy to create screenshots and actually share things with other players.
Awesome.
We can take some questions.
if you have a question, I'll just walk around with this unless it starts buzzing on me, which could happen. So let's see, I promised you would be first.
Well, my mum play a lot of the Pocket Edition, and actually I recently got into Minecraft. There's one thing that I really want you to add, if you can, which is buckets.
That's one thing that, I mean, it's possible to add buckets, but I've said, I've been really like, I haven't been 100% sure to add them because I know the phone can really slow down when you add water high up in the world. So that's more to, my main reason has been to like protect the worst case scenario, but I feel that we can add them and let the users decide if they want to crash their phone or not. So, yeah, I mean that's the reason that comes up from time to time, that the world can be like unusable because we have allowed something that slows down it so much.
That's also why there aren't any flint and steel in creative mode, by the way, because people could create TNT everywhere and light it up, and well, it could crash your phone, and we really don't want to do that.
I just want to say
you could get a world and then access the icon file as soon as you come in the world TNT created and make it in Steam and survival mode.
yeah. When we say crash the phone, I don't think we actually mean crashing the phone, but it becomes really unusable for a while, or at least in the game.
Okay, any more questions?
Do you plan to have never?
When it comes to the Nether, now there's actually two parts to this. Like when you're in multiplayer, if we added the Nether, but then we would have to simulate two different dimensions simultaneously, and we had to like send blocks updates and stuff like that for both dimensions, which would really eat up memory and eat up performance, which is basically where we're probably not going to do that. The Nether reactor, which we added the first version of now, is like a way to get around that, to actually get things that are in the Nether on the PC version until we figure out some more fun way to actually get those. We still want people to get access to like glowstone and stuff.
Okay.
Will there be a multiplayer Bluetooth support for Bluetooth? Multiplayer for Bluetooth?
Yeah, okay, so multiplayer support for Bluetooth. The problem is that we're using an external network library for Minecraft, which doesn't currently support Bluetooth. So I don't see that being implemented in the near future, unfortunately. Most phones can put up their own wireless access point at this point, so most people can probably play. And also when we add like online multiplayer, people with data plans that can support it will be able to play as well.
When will you add that sand and gravel phone?
Falling sand and gravel.
I think that was actually added in the first version, but it was some really stupid thing as it was so buggy, the code that I wrote, that it didn't work, and then I just forgot about it. Do we want it? Okay, he wants it, so we will look into it. The next version is look into things update, so okay, we can look into it for the next version.
Okay.
A guy in a forum found a MINECON picture in the files. What's up with that? There's a MINECON picture.
You're wondering about the server out here? Or
It's a picture, and some guy found out it has something to do with multiplayer or something.
I really don't understand the question. What exactly are you asking?
Well, there's a guy, and he found a MINECON, it's a MINECON picture called badge.png.
That was added for the users to see what servers were officially MINECON servers, official Mojang servers. We were going to use it for something more, but we didn't really have time to finish it.
That version actually showcased a few multiplayer like new things we're trying out, like nameplates over the head of the other players and stuff like that. So you should try this out. It also have a higher user limit, like 16 or something, so a lot of people can actually connect to it and play on it.
Where would they try that out?
You can try it out in the Shongaro room over there, and it should work like mostly through this corridor, depending on how many people actually connect to it.
I think there's a sign that's like kind of right outside the store that actually tells you everything about using the Pocket Edition server. So that's something to check out when you leave. Who else has a question? Anyone? Oh, back here.
Are there any features maybe you want to add which will make the Pocket Edition unique compared to PC and Xbox version? If you can.
I'm just like thinking if there is any planned features right now in the pipeline. I mean, the camera is one. I'm not sure, but that doesn't mean like that the next version won't have one. So we will see. We don't have any more plan, but it's easier to plan around what Minecraft already has than what we are going to add in like 5 months.
Coming over here. Excuse me.
Will caves be added to the Pocket Edition?
Yeah, caves is one of the things that we couldn't add because the phones were simply too slow. But we have added as a point for something like, to look into for the next versions. But we have to rewrite some things. You can split features into two categories. Those that must be the same for all clients, and those that are only local for the user. So caves has to work for every phone if they are going to be added, or at least you can't connect to a world with caves with a slow phone or something. You have to you set it in the settings, and the skies are the other. They can be added even if they are really performance heavy. To add skybox and clouds, we can add it, but let the user decide. But we really want caves, but we have to rewrite the rendering, and we plan to look into it in the soon to come future.
Is that in the look into it update?
Yeah.
That's what we've named it now.
I don't think it's going to be in like look into it. It's going to be looking into. Yeah.
Okay, looking into looking into. Okay.
Yeah. When I say look into update, it's more like we look into it, and then it comes an update that doesn't necessarily have any of those things. But we have looked into it.
Will Pocket Edition be coming out in Windows Server in the future? Windows Server.
The rendering pipeline on the Windows Phone is actually quite different than what we're using now, and we can't use the same code base basically as we do currently.
But if you talk about the server, we have a Windows server running, but it's basically the client that we can run it because we have emulators. But the server part should technically work. We have to figure out if we want it or if we want the users to run them themselves. But it would be impossible at least.
Would there ever be some sort of skin support, like what Xbox was at first, like you had 8 different skins instead of 4 being sleeve?
Like in an ideal world, I would love it if when we've added online multiplayer, we would also use like the same skin that we use for the regular Minecraft now. So we would have a similar system. Yeah, but basically the same skin as regular Minecraft.
Hi, just wanted to know about breeding the animals on the plans.
Yeah, so right now the world is pretty small and the animals sometimes behave a little bit weird and sometimes like disappear and stuff. Oh, that's fixed. Sorry. I think that breeding is something that we could add like fairly soon. There are a few things that we would like to add, like a few more food items and stuff like that, which we would need breeding to actually get some of them. We'll put it in the looking into outlet.
Breeding also has, we haven't added it because it uses a lot more network traffic that we didn't really want, so yeah, we haven't planned it for the next versions at least, but we can probably work around it in the future if we want to.
Like add a clone button on the animals.
They're ready to go whenever they can breathe. Anyone else? Oh, back to April. Almost fell off the stairs. Okay.
Have you thought about adding cloud syncing for multiple devices? So you could save your world and then it would be synced onto another device that was also running Minecraft Pocket Edition.
Currently, the worlds are very big, and I don't think that most people would like that option right now. I mean, later on, if we were to like rewrite
the file size isn't a problem actually, because we sit them down when we send them over the network, but I think we would need more like a friends system and lots of support on the server for making that, and we don't have that at the moment, so we can't like upload the world to a server and then let others download it. But those things are in the works at Moja. I mean, friends systems for games. So we have to wait for those things first.
Okay, anybody else? So then before we close, I'm just going to ask a random question. So that question, if you want to answer, you can raise your hand. Probably won't get to everyone. But what is the most epic thing you have built on the Pocket Edition? You don't have to show me, you can just tell us quickly about it. But I'm very interested to know. Or it could be something you've seen and you can tell about that person's.
I have a working mob spawner with water going around it. And it works very well. So waterfalls are extremely useful, and a cobblestone generator.
That's very impressive. Someone else? Yes? Two of you? Okay, let's hear what you made in Pocket Edition.
I made it with my sister, but we made a town in creative.
Very nice, a town in creative, awesome. You too?
I tried to reproduce my house.
Really? Your real life house in Pocket Edition?
Yeah.
Very cool. Has anyone else made their house in Pocket Edition? Their real one? Their dream house, maybe? Okay, some dream houses.
I made a stronghold with a sparring arena and a tower, all on survival, and a mine under it with an archery arena, and yeah.
Wow, that is extremely impressive. What have you made?
When I first started, originally, I just made a giant wooden fortress and covered it in obsidian, so a giant obsidian fortress.
Wow. And then, where do you guys typically play Pocket Edition? On the bus, on the train, subway, bathroom? How many people in here just play Pocket Edition? Is there anyone that only plays Pocket Edition, you don't play the PC version at all? We have one. You are very cute too. We have one cute one right there. Stand up. Wave to everyone. Stand up. Aww. She wins for the Pocket Edition panel, being the one person who only plays on it. Do you guys have anything else you want to add and tell them?
Yeah, I can add something about unique features. Have you heard about the Raspberry Pi thingy? Yeah. That version is actually compatible with Pocket Edition, but we have to see if we can continue that. But if it works out, you can actually connect to a server with. I mean, in this case, we said it was for Raspberry Pi, but it might be released for other platforms as well. But if you connect to one of those servers with your phone. The Pi user can actually modify the world with code, so he can do lots of things that you can experience. He could create games. I mean, it's like mods, but he creates them. You can do lots of things. I mean, I could write Snake in that system, and I mean, Snake might not be that cool, but it's really cool to see one snake go around, and you can play on the same server as the snake goes around. I mean, you can add a mob that is a lava block that chases you. You can add lots and lots of stuff with that version. And yeah, right now they are compatible, and we will try to keep it that way. We actually started on that this week, so we haven't really planned too much, but
That's Raspberry Pi, and then we weren't in the opening ceremony. It's a tiny little computer that you can basically carry around in your pocket, and the reason we are doing something with it is because you can actually learn how to code and change things on your own. So it's a great way for people who want to be a game developer someday to get to use it. And it's a little Raspberry Pi it's just like this big, and the company that makes it, it's like $35, and then you can actually have this working little coding device that you can change things around. So maybe put a snake that goes around. Is that what you said, Aaron? Put a snake in the game that goes around, but
a snake game, not
a snake game, not a snake in the game. But so that's something really cool, and that's going to kind of go a little bit hand in hand with the Pocket Edition. Though that's a really, really recent development, which is why we can't tell you that much about it, because we don't know yet.
No, I don't know. But I mean, it's actually usable right now. You can play it on the Pi, and you can set blocks and remove blocks and move the player. So we hope to do it perhaps early next year or something. Well, it's a network-based API, so you can use any language. When I coded for it, I used Python, and it was like 10 lines of code to actually set it up, but someone will do that for you. You can just download those 10 lines. It's really cool that you can play together with the Pocket Edition.
Awesome. Well, I think we're going to close out as far as questions, but if you guys want to come up and say hello and talk to the two of them, they're the ones working on the Pocket Edition. It's only the two of you, right? Yeah. So, yeah, the two of them are the main point people. So, they've told me before, you've told me before, Johan, not Aron, but that suggestions would be really cool if they were suggestions that had some reason why it would work in Pocket Edition, that it wouldn't work in PC. So you can think about that for a little while. If you have any suggestions, why would it work better on a phone than it would on a PC? So thank you guys for coming. We really appreciate it, and come up and say hello.